Hi guys, I'm Ashlee Janelle, and this is the Stories of Young podcast. Hi guys, my guest for today is an artist I've seen grown from a young boy from the streets into a young man who represents his African culture in music and more. He even was the supporting act of Burna Boy this year. I am talking about Amartey.
Energy.
Amartey, how
Good morning.
are you?
I'm feeling blessed. I'm feeling vibely, and I'm feeling alive. Thank you
I
for having
love
me.
that. You're always so full of energy. And you always say there's more energy, more energy. Where does this come from?
That is more energy. It came from the name of my second EP I released last year, and that brought me to a journey where I had the opportunity to travel to different countries, to Suriname.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk
gonna
about
talk
that.
about
Wait,
everything,
you're moving way too fast.
I'm moving way too fast because I'm hyped.
You're
I'm
hyped.
I'm excited to be here today.
I love that.
Appreciate it.
And you call yourself young boy from the streets, right? As I said in the introduction as well.
Thank you for the introduction.
You're welcome. But where does young boy from the street come from? Why the streets? What's the story behind this?
Why from the streets? Born and raised in Amsterdam, from Ghanaian parents. Also born and raised in Amsterdam, Cryness to be precise. From the raised in
You
the
actually now
Belgium.
have to say your zip code. Cryness is
1104.
1104.
1104.
I'm 1106.
You see, it's all about the 11 all. You get me? But yeah, young boy from the streets is basically growing up, influenced by young boys from the streets as well as always being outside. Very playful boy. I was always basically outside, just playing with friends, family, and most of all, you could always find me on the streets of Pinas. So I'm also till this day know a lot of people that own shops around Cryness. Also like the we call it the slager.
The slager. How do you say
the
that?
butcher, the butcher.
The butcher.
Yeah.
Yes, the butcher.
He calls me by my first name.
Is
so
he
like,
Ghanaian, the butcher?
No,
or?
he's a Moroccan guy.
Yeah, because Cryness is like really mixed, right?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
that's really like interesting to see that he's a Moroccan. You have like Surinamese people. You have like
Everything.
all different types of culture. So how did like your connection, your strong connection with your Ghanaian roots, how did that come about?
To be honest, I think it started in primary school. I think from a very young age. We didn't have a lot of Ghanaian kids in the class. I think I could count them on my hand. We were like eight of us.
Same. I don't even think I was with Ghanaians in my class.
It was like 8 of us, so we had like this final school performance, and that was, I think primary school was also like the first time I actually learned the national Ghana national anthem, like the lyrics, like word for
But
word.
where in school in the Netherlands?
Yes, but that's the thing with the small group
you
we
had.
Yeah.
So, but wait, with this A group, you guys did you do like an act? And then and you guys sung the national.
The national anthem.
Wow.
Yeah, and like I think was I think I was around 11 or 12. Yeah, around that age.
So okay, but wait, because how did you find this? Was there internet that time? No,
There
yes,
wa- there
because we
was-
grew
there was-
up with internet.
There was
so,
there was internet that time,
but there
it
was no
like,
YouTube and stuff like that.
Yeah, but the thing was, because of us finding it so important to remember our heritage, we also decided like, yo, we need to find like our old African cloth and come together and let's actually learn the Ghana national anthem, because some of us, most of us have already been to Ghana before, so it was like we all had the connection, and we wanted to make sure like we need to put something up for the represent for the culture, and we did that, and I remember it till this day actually, and it was an amazing.
How did the school react?
Everyone liked it. Everyone liked the outfits, because back then it was like, yo, it was a lot.
You didn't see it a lot. Like, was it like African prints, like
It was
or?
it was sleeve to tie and dye, and all everything was it was there. So it was like actually representing.
So could you now still sing the national anthem?
Oh, definitely.
Sing a song, a short, because I cannot sing it.
Okay, let me see if my voice is
I don't even
working,
know how it
'cause-
starts.
Okay, let me try something small. Let me try something small. God bless our homeland, Ghana, and make our nation great and strong, both to defend forever the cause of freedom and of right. Fill our hearts with true humility. Make us cherish fearless honesty and help us to resist the precious rule with all our will and might forevermore.
Ooh, wow. Like Amartey, you have this sound, no lie, like every time when I hear your voice, it just I feel something.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
like literally from the soul.
It is.
It's nice.
It is.
Thank you. This was very
Appreciate it.
special.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And also like you even singing this, like you have this sound that I cannot describe, but you even explained that yeah, you grew up in Amsterdam Southeast where rap is like a big part of our culture.
True. True.
How did you create this sound that you have?
I think to be honest is very influenced by a lot of Ghanaian artists.
Name a few. Which
such
ones?
as Daddy Lumba to Kojo Entry to Bisake there, but also Castro, very
Castro.
very,
I
very,
remember.
very
You
good.
had a song with Castro or not?
I
Before
have-
he passed away.
before.
Castro's like, for the people that don't know Castro, he was like
yeah,
a big
one of the biggest pioneers in the hip life, the hip life,
the
high
hip
life
life.
era.
Yes,
yeah,
he
definitely.
was definitely like Castro. Wow, I'm even feeling like goosebumps now talking about it. And he passed away. He drowned.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I always say he didn't pass away, but he
'Cause they never found him.
Because they never found him. So it's basically he's somewhere out there. We just don't know where he is.
But the story, like a short like history, Castro, that like we said, big pioneer in the Ghanaian music
Yeah, definitely.
sound, and he passed away by like he was with a group of friends in
Yeah.
a boat. They had like a boat
They
trip,
had like a jet ski
jet ski in Adam.
and he fell off.
He
and
fell off,
He
and
never the sounds. The core. That's the core. That's the kim
Yes.
kim. That is
That's high life.
base of high life.
That's the base of that's so we now all of us were listening to Afrobeats, but High Life was the base
Was the
of
core, yeah.
and Afrobeats was actually Fela Kuti that also started the foundation of
Yeah.
the beats, and then Hip Life. So because Fela Kuti is Nigerian, and High Life and Hip Life is like Ghanaian for
Yeah,
people
definitely.
that don't know the
Definitely.
difference. So we had High Life, then Hip Life is something that Castro was part of.
Yeah.
And he is one of your
my biggest inspirations.
biggest
definitely.
inspirations.
Definitely.
Wow.
To this day.
And did you try to rap before? I'm not gonna ask you to rap.
Oh
don't worry.
wow! To be honest, that is when you start being creative, you always want to try stuff.
Yeah.
And, I actually tried rapping, and to me, it felt like I was doing something good, but then yet again, I also have these amazing friends and family that also were very honest and told me like, you should leave the rapping behind, because they knew that I was into music,
Yeah.
and I was also into music and also doing a lot of singing. But when I actually got into the studio, I was rapping, so it didn't actually add up. So
Yeah.
when they heard the rap songs, it was like,
You should sing.
what are you doing?
Don't rap.
What is this? Like, and that's the thing, because you come from Amsterdam Southeast, you're trying to get this ego of
Yeah.
I'm a rapper and I'm a
Yeah.
tough guy.
Yeah. Because that's part of the culture.
But then when the switch came, it was like, I just need to sing.
Yeah.
And I just had the people around me that were honest enough to tell me like, yo,
Because did you start your career alone? Like, did you have like a group of friends?
I definitely have had a still have a very tight group of friends that inspired me from day one.
Because they're always on your stage. Like
Yeah,
you and your
always,
friends is like a
always,
crew, a tight crew.
always. So
Yeah.
it's like it started, I think, from a very like, let's say I was around, like, where should I start? Should I start from when I actually got serious doing music, or like how I
Yeah,
got
so
inspired?
when
Like,
yeah, you can like you can start from when did you actually start making music, like in a short span. You can say like when did you really start taking
music
music
seriously.
serious,
Yeah.
and actually also getting to the point like I fully want to focus on my music career.
I think I was around 19, 20 when I was actually like, I need to make the switch to like actually making music. So a good old friend of mine by the name of Kingsley. He had a record label, independent record label, together with one of my producers, also Kwesi.
Crazy.
Also, like
I call Quiz the Ghanaian Pharrell Williams. Like I love him.
he is.
He
He is.
just I don't know. He
is.
has something.
He is. He is.
And
Trust me. Like,
yeah,
I hold him to my heart. Like,
yeah.
he's been one of my biggest inspirations, but also he's been like a mentor to me.
Wow.
I've had numerous studio sessions whereby we get into the studio like around 12 afternoon, and then we get out at like 4 a.m. and just making music
And have
just,
to work the next day or
at that time, yeah.
yeah. Wow.
So
The
it's like
hustle.
it was a very big hustle, and at that time it was also, we were both going for like chasing our dreams. So it's like getting to work together, and at that point is when Kwesi and I started molding the sound that we are creating right now. So it's like the old school Afrobeats,
Yeah.
hip life, high life, and then bringing it into like a western way. So
So
like
Craze was really a part of that.
Crazy was
together.
definitely a part of the creative
Wow.
side of it. Yes, definitely. He because he's also a graphic designer. So
Yeah.
even when he was making the beats, he was also making the artwork. So we put a lot of time in what we created. So I hold him to my heart for that.
Yeah, I
definitely.
can imagine. Do you
Definitely.
guys still work together?
We still work together to this day. So like, even my last EP also had a numerous productions on it. My first EP, he did like, I think 85% of all the songs, and that was also the EP that got me to like the #1 on world charts in iTunes. Yeah, so like stuff like that, stuff like that has been going on, but
Yeah.
it's like, we still humble ourselves.
It's the, yeah, you always humble yourself.
We
But
still humble
but
ourselves.
that's like Amartey, seriously, that's what I love about you. We've known each other for so long.
Definitely.
It's literally from when I started in fashion. Like I know No Limit, Gansenhoef.
Yeah.
It's a youth center.
Definitely.
That's where I started doing like styling workshops and courses. You were there as well.
Yeah.
Recording, I think.
More rehearsing.
Rehearse.
'Cause
Okay.
I'm more of a rehearsal guy. I like to rehearse a lot.
Yeah, you were always there. I was there, and like we've seen each other grow.
True.
We've worked together. I
We
used to
have.
do your styling in
True.
the beginning.
True,
so-
because the thing is, I think you are also one of the first stylists I've ever worked with, and then afterwards I was like, anytime someone else tries to work with me, I'll be like, "Will Ashley be cool with this?" I'm
yeah,
not
you
sure.
said this before.
I'm not sure, so
I'm always cool. Like
You know?
I trust you, you trust me, and I trust you that it will.
But I always had that thought.
I
I'd be like,
respect
even
that.
even when picking outfits, and be like, would Ashley
Yeah.
make this combination? If not, then nah.
I love that. And when did you like fully? So when did you fully decided to like focus on your music?
It's a very funny story. So
Tell me.
my last job I had was, I think, like, it's now 2 years ago, and I used to work at a place called Hudson Bay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And funny thing is, that was my last job. I was actually doing like overtime. I was actually in and out of the studio. So it's basically getting to the studio.
But wait,
and
the studio
it's just
is
right,
literally around the corner
It's
of
a-
Hudson Bay.
right around the corner. So it's like, get in the studio,
Yeah.
do a whole studio shift in the morning, from the studio straight to work, from work during breaks go to the studio, get back,
What?
then from after work continue going to the studio. So it's like
Amartey.
it was a whole cycle, and then at some point, Gideon Everdam, aka Gekos, called
Who's
me during.
that? I don't know.
Gideon Gekos is I would say one of the great pioneers and also a rapper.
Okay.
Rapper, artist. He's
From
also,
Amsterdam?
Yeah, he's also a politician also as well.
Oh, I know who that is.
Gekos, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Gideon Everdam.
When you said politician, that's when I knew, because he's, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I know,
he
I
does
know.
politics now.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
and he called my phone during a shift, and I was like, okay, should I pick up? Shouldn't I pick up?
Doing a work shift.
During a work shift.
Okay,
During
yeah.
a work shift. So I picked up the phone, and he's like, "Yo, Amartey, how you doing? You good?" Yeah, I'm like, "Yeah, I'm dope, but I'm at work right now. Can I call you back?" He's like, "Actually, no, cause I have to tell you this." And he's like, "Yeah, how would you like to perform in Suriname for the Dutch embassy?" I'm like, "What?"
What?
He's like, "Yeah, and we leave next week Wednesday." I'm like, "Yo." So I was like, "Let me call you back," and then I just ran to the human resources HR.
Yeah.
I was like, "I need to be in Suriname next week. Can I get
Because
off?"
did they know that you were making music?
The thing is, when I'm at work, I don't actually talk a lot about my music.
Because I
just like-
remember, sorry to cut you off, when I was like in, when I had my styling job or business, I wasn't like making enough money to like live from it, right?
True.
So every time when I had like an job interview, I would be so excited to like, I'm into fashion and I do styling, and they would be like, I don't think this job is for you. So that's
yeah.
like, I always used to struggle with that. So,
I get you.
yeah, they knew that, oh, you're actually applying for this job because you need money, you
Yeah.
know? So how did you, like, would you
Navigate,
do you talk about it?
I do say that I'm a creative, but I didn't actually go into
Yeah.
actual
How big it is.
How big it is.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, because I just knew how to separate those things from each other. So
Very good.
I didn't have any problem. I just had to make sure that if I had a show or anything, that I didn't have to work the next day, because then I knew that I would be
Yeah.
I'd be too tired.
So now going to
So-
HR and
So going to HR, I was like please, I need to have like this week off next week, because I can't make it to work. And he's like, yeah, but we just hired you, and you're the guy for the, because I applied for the job because I was into sneakers, and I really wanted to work at the night department. And when I got there, it wasn't what I expected.
okay.
So that week was actually for me to realize, like, yo, do I actually want this job, or do I actually want
Because
to
how
go?
long were you working there?
They just recently opened, so it was like they needed people to like.
It was a risk.
So it was a risk.
Yeah.
As in, am I gonna go to Suriname, or am I gonna stay at this job?
Yeah.
And then I was like, nah, I'm gonna go to Suriname. I went to Suriname, had probably that was probably the highlight of my year, like being in Suriname, getting all the vibes, and that is how the whole More Energy thing started. So then, being in Suriname, performing and visiting all these people, seeing all these amazing places, I came back, did one work shift, and I was like, I'm ending this contract.
Well, so when was this?
This was in November 2017.
Okay. So
That was my last job that I November 2017.
so you've been actually focusing full time on your music
Focusing.
for like 2 years now.
And as in, now that I actually don't work for a boss for 2 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been.
Yeah,
all
you've
my-
been focusing on your music.
my
for-
music all my time.
Exactly.
But like working for a boss, I haven't done that in 2 years time.
So how do you this is like, okay, I don't know if you want to answer this, but how do you survive? Because I always I know a lot of musicians, and sometimes I'm just like, how do you survive from music?
The thing is, if especially for someone like me as an independent artist, you just need to know how to manage.
You have to be creative.
You have to be creative in
Yeah.
all sorts. So it's like you need to find or let's say you need to create sources of income.
Yeah.
If it's
yeah.
not there for you, you have to find a way to create it. And at some point, like I definitely do a lot of shows, not only with my own shows but also with Afro Luscious, and Afro Luscious is also a party concept that started at Amsterdam Open Air. It's been out here for 5 years now.
It's not just a party concept. It's
No,
an
listen,
African.
it's an okay. Let me break it down for
Tell
you.
them.
Afro Luscious is right now the biggest Afrobeats Afro party in the Netherlands,
Yeah.
crossing each and every border in
And
the Netherlands.
I'm just smiling because I've seen you and Burna on stage and the whole team.
It's
You-
crazy.
You guys, like the energy you guys have, like that's why I said in the beginning, like you really represent the African culture. I really think that you guys are, yeah,
we are
like
we
you
are,
are
def-
guys
we
are bringing
definitely-
the culture.
we are definitely the pioneers of the new school. I would definitely say
Yeah.
that. And but the thing is, yeah, you need to create sources of income. So at some point, doing hostings with Afro Luscious, but also doing my live shows with my live band, because I also perform with the live band. I also perform with a DJ. I could also do acoustic settings.
Yeah.
So it's like I need to like basically split myself into like 4 different types of sources of income. So then I could always get something out of it.
But also talking about sources of income, you've done a collaboration with TNO.
I've done a collaboration with TNO.
TNO is the new originals. You're actually
Yeah,
wearing
I'm
their
actually
t-shirt.
wearing it, you know.
is a Dutch clothing brand.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm saying this is because you were just talking about the trip to Suriname
Yeah.
that actually changed your whole life.
Yeah.
You guys also created socks, and you're also wearing the socks.
I'm also
right
wearing
now.
the socks. Yeah.
I love this. So tell me about the story of the socks
And the t-shirt.
And the t-shirt.
The story about the socks and the t-shirt, that started also last year around October. I think around October, started around October, and I was at the office, at the TNO office, and together with Arindy, also a very good friend of mine. And I had this idea because I really love socks. I really love colorful socks, socks with prints. And I was like, I definitely want to make my socks someday, one day. And also inspired by a very good friend of mine, Jahaira. She introduced me into Happy Socks.
Okay.
And I was like, I need to take this to a next step. Which artist, or does an artist in this country even has his own socks line? So I'm like, you know what? There's a gap. Let me fill that gap and create that source.
Nice.
Then came the idea for the More Energy. The More Energy was the journey of visiting all those countries.
Yeah.
So then
So what, you visit
Suriname, then went to Ghana, then
Ghana.
went to St. Martin. So I went to Suriname in October, November. Went to Ghana in December, January.
Oh.
Went to St. Martin in April. Then went to UK in July, August. And yeah, that's how basically the whole
More energy.
the whole More Energy started. And then I had to put it on something that people could hold and see and wear.
Yeah.
So then how can you bring those cultures together? Because that's what I also stand for. It's like bringing different cultures and people together. It's like, yeah, just put all the flags of the country on a sock and just make it something that people could actually get attached to.
Yeah.
It's like,
Because nowadays, like socks, that's something, like I don't add value to my socks, to be really honest. I just wear any socks I see. Back in the days, I used to wear like 2 different socks. Now I try to be like, okay, as you never know where you end up, so
True.
at least. But now having socks that actually have a story,
They have a story.
that is connected to you and your experience, to me that makes it not just a simple socks anymore.
No,
So that's how
definitely
you like from those things I can really like see that it's very important to have a story, or not just a
Definitely.
product, but really like a story.
and it's
right?
also because like the whole slogan of it is inspired by the musical journey and worn by the people.
Nice.
That is a slogan. It's called the Worldwide Socks, because
Yeah.
you travel the world, you meet different people, and it's all about energy.
Yeah.
So the energy in Suriname is definitely different than the energy in St. Martin. It's definitely different than the energies in the Netherlands, because it has to do with weather.
Yeah.
It has to do with the people.
True.
It has to do with even like how you even feel at that point
Yeah.
being there. So
Yeah.
and if you can make something that you can connect all these people together, That's brilliant. And then I added something else to it. It's like anytime I travel to a new country for music, I add their country to the socks.
So are there going to be like more?
There's basically right
collections?
now, I think, do I have it on this one? I don't think so. No, I don't have it on this one. Like
Okay.
I have a there's a new collection with the yellow color has the flag of Belgium on it and the flag of France.
Okay.
Because that were the recent two countries that I've been to just for music. So it's like new countries. So anytime I go to a new country for my music, it gets added on the flag, then the journey and the story continues. So
Very
then
nice.
hopefully at the end of my career,
You have
the
like-
socks will be full.
But I like that because my sister is a flight attendant. She flies with
Yeah.
KLM. And on our koelkast, hoe zeg je?
Refrigerator?
Our refrigerator, she collects like those
The magnets.
magnets.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. You
so
see?
you can so it just connected. Like she actually like our whole fridge is full of flags
But
and
she
stories.
must have a lot.
She has a lot, and every time when I travel, I also buy a few for her. So I was recently in Thailand, and then so I also everybody like all our friends when they travel, like they give her
They give
like
her magnets.
they give her one. So that's part of the stories.
That's a part of the story, and I feel
like
like
that.
if you could bring people together
Yeah.
just with socks, it's amazing.
It's amazing. So these are your side hustle socks. The collaboration with Teno, Afro Luscious, the African party concept.
But I also want to say something about the TNO though.
Okay.
The reason why I did the collaboration with TNO was also because I knew them from school from before, and I sat with them on a table and they were also telling me like, yo, we want to make this clothing brand, the new originals. So I was actually there when they were
From the
start, and then when it actually came to actually like executing the whole plan, I was like, yeah, man, this is dope.
Yeah.
So I remember even one of the first shoots we did.
We did?
Yeah, one of the first shoots we did. I actually wore TNO, the one with the white.
Oh my god!
With the white collar. That is
I forgot. I forgot this.
That is TNO.
That is TNO because
that is one of their first. That's one of their.
That is true
Yeah.
because I remember we were doing a photo shoot,
Mm-hmm.
and I called my cousin Ladi,
Yeah.
because he's friends with the guys of Tino, and I said, Ladi, I'm styling Amartey tomorrow. Can you fix me Tino? So I went to Eiburg where
That was the old office. Yeah.
where the old office
Yeah.
was, and I got you a few Tino outfits.
Yep. And that's
Yo,
how
I forgot this.
That's how I basically
Everything
I was like,
is just connected.
I was like, yo, I need to work with these guys. So then
Wow.
we did the collaboration with TNO where they had the slogan, "Creatives are the new athletes," and I wanted to do something with that because growing up and doing all this music, my mom didn't actually have like someone to look up to when it came to like on a creative level. So it was like me getting into the music industry for her. She felt some type of way like, oh, is he in a good space? Is it safe for him? And most of the time she was always calling me like, yo, where are you?
Yeah.
You know, why are you always in the studio? Why are you always coming late?
Yeah.
This and that. And at that time too, I was actually heavy invested into music that, you know, it wasn't, I wasn't getting the good results in school. And at some point,
Because you were too focused on
I was too
music.
focused on doing music, you know, and that brought my mom into a space like, I know he has a talent, but he has to focus on his education
Because
first.
I know your mom plays a very big role in your
Definitely.
in your whole music career. What did your parents think about your music? What do they think about your music?
First of all, my mom, she loves my music like to the core. She is one of my biggest fans till this day.
I know she came on stage, she
Yeah.
danced.
Everything.
Like your
man.
mom is so cool.
She's like my number one. Like, and the connection I have with her is like I can discuss anything with her.
Yeah.
When it comes to music, but even when it comes to life,